My wife's Christmas surprise was a DNA test, and it shattered 10 years of marriage. The Christmas tree lights flickered softly, casting warm shadows across the room. Outside, snow fell in quiet sheets, muffling the world. My son, little Liam, laughed as he tore into a gift, oblivious to the tension that had settled like a storm cloud over me. I took a sip of wine, trying to steady myself. That was when she slid the envelope across the table. Her smile was serene. Too serene. "I thought you'd like to see this," she said. Her voice was honey over steel. I froze. Something in her tone made my stomach churn. I felt it immediately, an electric warning, a prelude to disaster. I picked up the envelope. My hands trembled. It was a DNA test, the kind that doesn't lie. She watched me, eyes calm, almost expectant. A decade of shared life, trust, laughter, secrets. It all teetered on the edge of this single sheet of paper. My pulse raced. The room seemed smaller, tighter. Every decoration, every twinkling light, suddenly mocking. I tried to speak. Nothing came. My mind raced, skipping over my heartbeat, trying to catch a rational thought. But there was none. I sat there, staring at the envelope like it was a loaded gun. 10 years of marriage, shared holidays, arguments, midnight whispers, promises whispered under breath, was unraveling in her calm, deliberate hands. My mind spun back. There had been little things, the subtle glances at her phone, the late nights she claimed were work, the faint scent of perfume that wasn't mine. I had ignored them, telling myself I was imagining things. Until tonight. Until she handed me proof. Liam laughed from across the table. My heart squeezed. This wasn't just betrayal against me. It was an erasure of every memory I thought was real. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw the envelope across the room. But I didn't. My hands stayed steady. I forced a calm mask over the storm inside. She spoke again. "I thought it was time you knew." Knew what? That the son I held in my arms every morning, the boy whose laughter was my morning sun, wasn't mine? That the life we built was a lie? I didn't answer. Instead, I watched her, studying every micro-expression, every word she hadn't spoken, the corners of her eyes, the tension in her jaw. She was proud, or maybe she was scared. I couldn't tell yet, but I felt it, the cold, calculated emotion that had eluded me for 10 years. I swallowed. My mind began plotting. Calm, controlled, nothing impulsive. This was about strategy, observation, uncovering the truth. The next day, I began my quiet investigation. I didn't confront her. I didn't yell. I moved through the motions of my day while my mind raced. I pulled the test apart, verified its legitimacy, cross-checked details, tracked calls she had made, messages deleted, the subtle discrepancies in her stories. I watched her, carefully. Not with rage, not yet. Calm, controlled. My thoughts were sharper than knives, dissecting every smile, every movement, every word she had spoken over the last 10 years. I discovered the hidden threads, the dinners she claimed were work, the weekend trips she said were girls' retreats, the messages she never wanted me to see. Every piece fit together, each fragment of betrayal added weight. I saw the outline of a man behind the deception, someone she had entwined herself with while presenting herself as my wife. My mind was calm, methodical. The storm inside waited. I traced the evidence quietly. DNA reconfirmed, phone logs revealed lies, each revelation a dagger, each truth a hammer strike against my composure. I stayed in control. My anger was measured. My strategy was silent. My revenge, not yet. It was evening. I called her into the living room. Liam asleep upstairs, oblivious to the tension below. I held the second DNA report in my hand. Confirmed. Undeniable. "I suppose it's time," I said quietly. No tremor. No anger in my voice. Just clarity. She looked at me, expecting panic, expecting pleading. Perhaps she even thought I'd beg. I handed her the report. Her eyes widened. The faint smirk evaporated. Panic settled in.
She reached for words. It's complicated, she stammered. Not really, I said, voice cold, precise. It's the truth. You chose this. Every lie, every hidden detail. Her face crumpled. Shock, guilt, a desperation I hadn't seen in 10 years. She realized control had shifted. I watched, eerily calm, as the woman I thought I knew disintegrated under the weight of her own deception. No yelling, no pleading, just truth. I didn't scream, I didn't hit, I didn't destroy. I walked away. I left her with the consequences. She had shattered my life with lies. Now she faced the solitude of her choices. The house felt smaller without my warmth. She realized her world was empty without me at its center.
Confrontation. No explosive anger, just cold, calculated departure. I informed her of divorce proceedings, every step legally precise. The man she had hidden? Irrelevant now. The life she thought she could manipulate? Gone. I walked through my house one last time as her tears echoed behind closed doors. The Christmas lights flickered like a mocking applause. Every detail had been orchestrated, every move strategic, and she had no idea I had known everything before she handed me the first test. I stood outside in the snow, Liam in my arms. My heart ached in a strange, hollow way, not for her, not for her lies, not for the betrayal, but for the truth I had discovered. I had been tested. I had been deceived, but I had regained control. She could beg. She could cry. She could explain. None of it mattered. I had clarity. I had strategy. I had calm. I walked away. The snow fell silently. The world was indifferent. I was free, and that was enough.